This is the 22nd season of Bass Talk Live. BTL is presented by Bass Cat Boats, Strike King Lures, AFTCO, Pro Guide Batteries, Spro, Gamakatsu, The Bass Tank, Beatdown Outdoors, and Sunline.
BTL coming at you.
Good evening and welcome to a pop-up edition. It's BTL at night. Wasn't exact. We were kind of planning on doing this, and then it actually came to fruition. Listen, I have a debt, an outstanding debt that I had to pay, so I'm going to pay that debt on air. And then Matt Steffen and I are going to recap the Bassmaster Open on Grand Lake, and we're both busy as heck because we both just got back from Grand. We have business to attend to. Matt owns the hottest tackle company in the game right now, so he's got a lot going on there. And then I'm not exactly sure what I do, but I managed to stay busy. And we're headed to Wabasha, Minnesota for the Dick Hiley St. Jude Bass Classic. Already over $800,000 raised for that event. But we needed to recap Grand Lake because there was some really cool stuff that went down. I was planning on doing some live shows, and it just got away from us last week. So we're back. We're live tonight, and we've got Matt Steffen with a couple sidekicks there, and Hank and Duke. And we got to get this handled because it is past the kids' bedtime already up there in Wisconsin. What's up, Matt, Steffen, Hank, and Duke in order? How are you guys tonight?
Good to see you again, Panger. It's been too long. It's been too long.
Yeah, no, well, I mean, I would say that too, because I mean, we did have some pretty dang good meals this past week at Grand Lake. I do feel bad for the garage of the VRBO. There's about 60 raw shrimp heads in there, and that thing was kind of smelling like a St. Petersburg, Florida pier by the end of the week.
It actually was funny. On the way home, I was driving back thinking about how before we booked the house, one of the questions the homeowners asked me, or didn't ask me, they stated was, hey, we know you're fishermen. You cannot be cleaning fish in the house. And I said, don't worry, we release everything. And then I smelled the garage on the way out. I was like, they're going to think we slaughtered everything we caught. It smells so bad in here.
Yeah, well, it was not fish. It was actually Gulf shrimp.
Giants.
And then in a odd parallel, some would say that we stunk it up on Grand Lake. Not the tournaments either. Oh, we both had good tournaments. We're both in the top 50s of the EQs. I missed a check by 3 ounces. You had a top 60.
Yeah, I think it was 64th.
64. 3 away from 67th. And
well done. Is that the first 6-7 on BTL?
That is.
Yeah.
Okay. Hank and Duke are here for a reason. One, Duke is a little bit of an entrepreneur. I actually, if you look very closely in the BTL studio right here, I have a little panda bear that I purchased from Duke Mart at the Steffen household for $1. So Duke has $1 of my money. Second of all, we had a very heated live ping pong match. How long ago did we do this ping pong match, Matt?
That was the Master Angler Challenge.
Master Angler, so October, November. Anyway, we did a best of 7 series, and due to your subpar paddles, I was unable to employ my masterful spin game, and you did manage to beat me by power. However, beforehand, I was a little cocky, and Hank was the referee of the event, and I told him, I said, whoever wins this, either you have to donate $100 to me if Team BTL wins to our St. Jude team that we're fishing this upcoming week, or if Team Matt and Hank Steffen win, I have to donate $100 to your team.
That's fine.
And that's coming up next week. So I would like to go to the direct links in here for these. You can actually go see this right now. The direct link to the BTL and Bart page. I fish with that on Bartuza from the Crappie Chronicles. You guys fish at that. 100% of the money that's raised. The reason you raise money is it helps your takeoff position in the tournament. So the more you raise, the earlier your takeoff, your boat draw number is. But here is the team of Matt and Hank Steffen. There it is there. I would like to point out Matt Pangrak right there donated $100. See it right there?
There it is.
There it is. You got the hundo. Hank donated directly to St. Jude.
Oh, and by the way, just so you know, for Christmas, I got some new paddles for ping pong.
Okay, well, yeah, maybe, yeah, that's good. I'll tell you what, next time I come, I was going to say I've got my paddle in my bedroom. That sounded weird, but I've got my personal ping pong paddle is located and in the house ready to go the next time I'm up in Wisconsin.
Yeah, bring your special paddle. If you beat Hank, you can play me again.
Okay. Last time I almost beat you.
Does that sound like a good
yes.
plan?
Mercy on Hank. No mercy. It's going to be so bad we're going to have Duke leave the room so he doesn't get upset that I beat you so bad, Hank.
Last time I almost beat you.
You did. You've got a mean low spin over the net. You really know how to. You really are good on the serves. So
yeah, we're training for a rematch.
Anyway, that puts you guys up to almost $11,000 raised for the St. Jude. If you looked at the thumbnail on that, we saw Hank holding a hog there, a big largemouth. Matt Steffen last year, one of the cool events. And I fully expect Hank to carry the team this year as we head up to Wabasha for the Dick Hiley St. Jude Bass Classic here in a week.
Yeah, it's only a couple of days away at this point. When are you heading up?
I am supposed to be heading up on Wednesday. This is the fourth BTL that I've done today. So we did this morning with Christine Fisher, and then I recorded a couple, and now we're doing a night episode, and I think I've got 4 in the can for tomorrow. So
wow.
The game plan is Wednesday. When are you guys headed up? I know Hank, I would figure you were already on the water scouting out pools 4 and 5A.
We've got
not a big pre-practice guy.
They've got school all week. We're debating whether or not to pull them out of school at lunchtime so that they can get all checked. I know you want.
Duke has a field trip, so he stays. I go.
Yeah, Duke's got a field trip, so I'm not sure we're going to be able to pull them out a little early. But I think I might head over Thursday morning and get on the water for a few hours Thursday, and then a half day on Friday.
Okay. I mean, it is charity. It is charity. It is time with your family, and it is bass fishing. So I think there's 3 strong reasons to just go ahead and make it a half day, Matt.
I mean, this is one of those tournaments that you're just happy to be fishing it. Like I'm not saying we won't have a chance at doing very well in the tournament, but we're not going over with the mindset that this is the killer attitude. Not quite like you and Adam are already.
Listen, I do not speak for that. I am not. I show up a day before, get in the boat with him, and do whatever he says. It's his show.
Well, you know who dropped by the house last night and stayed last night, who is taking this very seriously, the one and only Miles Berghoff. So he's on the water today
already.
Yeah, he drove in last night, had dinner, went to bed, and got up at 5:30 or 6 this morning and headed over to the river. And it's rained. It's been a rainy, cold day all day, and he's been over there just grinding hard. He said he wanted to see everything from the top of pool 4 to the bottom of pool 5 by the time practice was over.
I have found through the opens and last year on the St. Jude, we may have cut him off, not me, that he is not a incredibly he is okay, I'm not going to say he's not how do I say this? He's a very focused angler on the water, so much so that you think he's ticked at you, and then you just realize that is Miles in tournament mode. That has nothing to do with you. It's just you are an outside circumstance. Like, he's not the type to, when you pass him like in a tournament, to stop and be like, "What do you got, Panger? What do you got?" No, yeah. He is all business all the time on the water. Have you noticed that too?
Yeah, he's a big teddy bear off the water. On the water, he definitely has a different mindset. He's got the killer mindset while he's out there. So, I mean, why would he want to pull up and talk to you? Because that's just wasting time. He could be catching bass.
Can we get some thumbs up in the chat? Some thumbs up and W's in the chat for a half day for Hank, so he can get to the river a little bit earlier. Come on, just start spamming it with thumbs up and W's. W's in the chat, folks.
We'll
Hit us
have
with
to,
some W's.
we'll have to reach out to the teachers and see what they say. It is pretty funny when I go through the school pickup or drop off line towing the boat on a regular basis, and I get some pretty funny looks. So it probably wouldn't at this point be anything out of the ordinary if we pulled him out and he jumped in the truck with the boat behind it.
Yeah, I mean, you could technically drop the. Well, no, that's your job. Look at this. Just thumbs up.
Lots of
W's
thumbs
in
up.
the chats. Look at this. Everyone.
Yeah, this is pressure. This is a lot of pressure now on us.
It is. I also would like to announce, like, I looked at the there's trailer. Rick checking in. Everyone's checking in. So many W's. I also would like to point out $912,724 now for the St.
That's
Jude
what we're
tournament.
up to. Do you
Yes.
think we will break the record, which was set last year? What was it, like 1.1? Was it 1,140,000?
Yeah, something like that. Look at this already. This is if you just type in the Dick Hiley St. Jude Bass Classic, you can see it. 912,000. There's Miles. He's raised 48,000. Glenn Walker 65,000. James Gibson 108. These are individual two-man teams who raised this money. This is a 100-boat tournament, folks. $912,000 already for this.
Yeah, it's the first time the field's been capped at 100 boats, or been filled up at 100 boats, I believe.
Yeah. Very cool deal. Paige Schumacher, Pro Guide, the Pro Guide Hope Classic is the week following the Dick Hiley. I know they're over 36,000. They've got a Bass Cat fully rigged with Pro Guide batteries that they're giving away. They're donating to one of the teams that's in it. However much money you raise is how many tickets you get for that. I know Skeeter Yamaha, very involved in the Dick Hiley St. Jude. There's a Skeeter Yamaha. If you've raised enough money, you're eligible to give that away. I mean, the top 10 teams, 26,000 for 10th, and then I think me and you are kind of in a battle right below that. We got some money for the T-shirts coming in, and the Fishing Chaos tournament coming in and stuff. So it'll be awesome. I think easily we'll hit $1 million on this.
Yeah, I think that'll happen for sure. It's just a question of whether or not a record will be set. So it's such a good tournament. I mean, whether you're an angler or you're just in the area and want to come hang out, I mean, the festivities are pretty amazing. The meetings, like, it's just a happy environment celebrating a tough, family issue.
It is. Hank, give us the rundown on what you think the game plan's going to be on the river this week.
Fish.
You want to go in?
Fish and catch 5-pounders.
Fish and catch 5-pounders.
Are we going largemouth or smallmouth?
Both.
What would you rather fish for?
Largies.
Largies, really?
Largies. Power fishing.
Well, I was at Grand Lake. He was studying aerial photos, looking for sand drops.
Okay, you better stay off my sand drop.
I don't know.
Duke, it's been hard to get a word in with Duke here. Why don't you give us some of your deep thoughts, Duke?
What are you looking forward to this week? Garage sales?
I don't know.
So
it's gotta be.
So one of the cool things this weekend in Wabasha is what do they call it? The 100-mile
garage sale.
Yeah, it's a 100-mile garage sale. So it's like there are garage sales for 100 miles along the river. So it's just he'll be with Mom doing that. And one of the coolest toy stores I've ever been to is called Lark Toys.
Lark Toy Store.
Yeah, it's right in Wabasha. It's kind of one of those places like you go to even as an adult and you just like are amazed. Like they've got actual carousels and stuff inside of the place. So he'll have a lot of fun while we're out on the water.
Duke, hit us with your top 3 favorite things to look for at garage sales. Like when you roll up to a garage sale and you just kind of get that feeling like, oh, this is a good garage. What are the 3 things that you've got your eagle eye out for?
If you ask me.
What do you like looking for?
I'm interested in Duke, and then we'll go with Hank after this because I have a feeling I might know what Hank's are, but I have no clue what Duke looks for at a garage sale.
I don't really know.
You don't know? What do you
toys?
like? Yeah, toys for sure.
That's it.
How about craft stuff?
Yeah.
You like your crafts, Pokemon cards?
Mhm.
All right. I have a feeling Hank is literally looking for fishing gear.
Yeah, that's one of them. Fishing stuff. Fishing stuff, Pokemon cards, and football cards.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you got your $100. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You should
You're
have
good
given
to
us.
go.
Are
There
we
should have been like a times 10.
are we doing a little side bet, us versus you guys?
Yeah, we might. Oh, yeah.
50 bucks.
Didn't we do that last year?
No.
I thought we did that last year.
You said I have to buy you a Oklahoma jersey, and if I lose, then you have to buy me a Texas jersey, but I never agreed to it. I said no.
We might have to think of something special for this year's matchup.
Okay,
Yeah.
15-4.
We might have to. All right. You guys are headed to bed. You're both in the matching jammies. Those look awful cozy there, guys. So I
Yeah.
see Hank has his St. Jude hat on, his 2026 St. Jude hat on. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a quick break. And then, and his Bucky's blanket. Does that just hurt your soul, Matt? To know that you're on a show where your your firstborn son is wrapped in a Bucky's blanket and the host of the show is drinking out of a Bucky's cup?
I've been a little hesitant to tell you this, but I stopped at Bucky's. We're in Springfield, Missouri on the way home from Grand Lake. It's like 7 a.m. My opinion changed a little bit. It's because their breakfast tacos are really good, and their I didn't realize they had a coffee bar where you could like make your own coffee, basically.
Yeah.
So I really enjoyed that aspect, and the fact that it was 7 a.m. and I was one of the few people in the building wasn't a bad thing. So they moved up a couple notches, but they're still not Quick Trip.
What kind of spinnerbait you working with there, Duke?
This thing?
Which one were you holding?
Here's the thing.
That's
so
a free swinging Picasso.
After having been to Matt's house, they're literally just off screen, all behind him on the left and on the right are prototype and unreleased baits that you can't even look directly at without him saying, and just off screen, all sorts of crazy stuff that you never knew existed. So I know that's when you saw he was picking up lures. I know you were like, whoa, what's that? Because I know you've got a couple good ones coming out.
Yeah, I had to hide. I got to make sure he's not showing the wrong things.
Yeah. All right, we'll take a break. Congratulations. Thanks for jumping on the show, guys. And then we'll be back, and we are going to dive into the latest Bassmaster Open on Grand Lake. It is BTL at night with Matt Steffen. We'll be back right after this.
I have a question.
The new Puma STS has been redesigned from the ground up. With the angler, design, function, and performance in mind, nothing on this new offering was compromised, and the only thing carried over from the previous version is the name. Based on the Soft Touch series hull that started with the flagship Jaguar, this new model is nimble and performs incredibly well at all speeds with either a 250 or 300 horsepower engine. Featuring a new 96-inch wide-body footprint, this hull measures out at 20 foot 7 inches in length. Industry-leading design coupled with tournament-winning performance. The Puma STS from Basscat. Feel the rush.
Before there were hashtags, there were handshakes and shared stories. They gave us confidence to make our first cast and chase our dreams. They taught us to fish, and in the process, taught us about life. They taught us that success isn't just about reaching the top. It's about lifting others up. The future isn't just about selling tackle. It's about 3 simple words. Let's go fishing. Here's to the original influencers.
When I'm in a tournament, conditions are constantly changing and every second matters. With the Deep Dive app, I can instantly pull up all the current lake conditions all in one spot. So no more looking at weird government websites. In just one quick glance, I have water clarity, water level, wave forecast. It's all right there in the Deep Dive app. Download the Deep Dive app and get all the tools you need to put together an awesome tournament.
At Beatdown Outdoors,
We know you depend on your gear to hold up in any condition. We built for that. We test for that. In fact, we pride ourselves in that. Because we know when the time comes to test your gear, you aren't going to take it easy, so we won't. We build premium, made-in-the-USA products that you can rely on in the moments when your equipment should be the last thing on your mind.
Welcome back, BTL, on a Monday night. Yeah, last time I checked, it was like $888. Now it's up to $912,000, Matt.
All I know is every time I look at it, I feel like the top places are just like, what do you think I don't recall who the top team was, but
James Gibson, 118,000. Now, Glenn Walker, he's big into the jersey game.
He does the jerseys. Yeah.
He does the jerseys big time.
What do you think the top team did to get that much money?
I don't know. But we all need to model whatever that is. Because I mean, this is the perfect mix of ego, competitiveness, and good-heartedness, because like you want to be one of the top 10 teams, so you get the best takeoff boat draw on the river each day. So you want to out fundraise everybody, but in the process, then you're raising money for St. Jude, which is the ultimate goal. So you really want everybody to be tied for first with over 100,000.
It's just unbelievable that a team raised that much money. Like I think I would love to know what they did. So if it can be replicated, that would be just amazing. But like you said, it really it's the perfect scenario to raise money, because if you're one of the top teams, you go out in that order every day. So if you're in the top 10, but more importantly, the first flight gets, what is it, like a half hour before the second flight goes? So like on the Mississippi River, that's a lot of time to potentially go fish, if they're spawning smallmouth, or maybe you want to lock, you're guaranteed the first lock down to wherever, you get a lot of time to yourself before the rest of the field gets out there. So it's a really good way to encourage fundraising. Like it is.
If you missed out on the BTL Bass Fishing Saves Lives t-shirts or the Fishing Chaos tournament, which we'll have Tom Brubaker on tomorrow evening to talk about who won that and the prizes for the BTL, and you still want to donate, there is a link directly to our team that you can donate, and the goodness of my heart, I put your link in there too. So if people wanted to donate like $100 and then donate, 50 to BTL and Bart, or 50 to Matt and Hank, it's still $100. They're going to donate $100. You don't really care whose team it goes to in the long run, just as long as you donate. So if you want to donate $20, $10, $5, $100, $5,000, whatever it is, you can do it anonymously. You can put your name in there. You can put a message. It goes. That's not a second party. It's directly a fundraising.stjude.org email. They give every single team this exact page to fundraise from, and then that number will be announced at the banquet on Saturday night. So, yeah,
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I did it just before. That $100 took me 30 seconds.
Yeah.
And it shows up immediately. So
I got an email. I checked to make sure it was there. I got the email saying that you donated.
Did it have a message on there?
I didn't check that, but I probably should check to see if there was a message on there. Knowing you, it's probably a pretty good message. There's no message on here.
There's no message?
No, there's no message.
Oh.
Well, actually, if I go, hold on, let me go to the fundraising center. In the email, there's no message.
Okay. I feel like feel like the BTL listeners and viewers just pressured the Steffen family into pulling Hank and Duke out of school early, and I love it.
Though there's no pressure. From my perspective, I think they learn just as much with me in the boat as they do in a half day of school.
Some would venture to say more.
Potentially. I would not even argue.
Can Hank tie an FG knot?
Not an FG knot, no. no. But Hank is he's got the fishing bug, and almost to the point where it makes me a little bit nervous because I know how tough this industry can be. And if you've got it in your blood, you can make it work. But the industry can chew you up and spit you out too.
Yes.
But I mean, like Rich said, Halabass there. Hey, he missed school all the time to go fishing, and he turned out okay. So
Some would venture to say people who cut the tops off their hats are a little questionable.
I think there's a lot of value in kids being outdoors, and we need more of that these days.
I agree. I feel like after this last tournament on Grand, we need to be outdoors more.
Oh my
At least
God.
me speaking personally.
I feel like I've been gut punched about 10 times since the end of that tournament, and I feel like you just blew me the knockout punch about 5 minutes before this episode.
All right, let's dive into it. I'm going to put you full screen. I'm interested to see what you have to say. I would like you to, we're talking about the Division II second Bassmaster Open on Grand Lake of the Cherokees took place this past weekend, the end of April. Both Matt and I are only fishing that division, meaning we need to finish in the top 50 in the points to make the EQs at the end of the year, where we will then celebrate and gladly give Bassmaster another $10,200 of our money to have the opportunity to fish 3 more prestigious Bassmaster EQ tournaments with the possibility of receiving a one-of-a-kind ring that says EQ emblazoned upon it. And then the top 10 of that receive the honor, the glory, and the fame of being able to call themselves Elite Series anglers. So halfway through the Division II of the Opens, I am in 36, I think. And Matt Steffen, you are Bubble Boy. You are in 50. There's 189 anglers that are fishing this division. So we're actually in decent shape. We have Kentucky Lake at the end of May. And then in June, we go to the Mississippi River. And at that point, so that's where we are at it. But I am curious if you were to set up the conditions, the lake and everything going into this past week. I'm interested to see how in your mind you would set that up.
What do you mean by set it up?
Like set it up to the listeners and viewers, like what we were facing going into practice when we rolled into Grove last Saturday.
This was one of those tournaments where every variable that could change was changing, right? So the Thursday practice started on a Sunday. You guys got a bunch of rain in that area. I think it was Wednesday night, and the lake started to rise on Thursday. It continued to rise through practice on Sunday into Monday. It came up 5 feet, which on a Highland impoundment table or an Ozark style lake, that's not like huge amount, but that's enough to get up into the bushes. It's enough to move the fish around quite a bit. But with that came a lot of mud. So the mud was flowing down the lake from the beginning of practice. I would say the mud was about mid-lake. By the end of practice, it was down about to the bottom of the lake. You had some clear water creeks if you wanted some relatively clear water, but for the most part, there was a lot of dirty water. Halfway through the second day of practice, the water peaked, started to come down, and it was falling at about a foot and a quarter per day. And by the time tournament started, it was back down, I think, to like 2 3/4 foot above full pool. But that's enough to kind of take most of the water out of the bushes. So there really was a lot of different things going on. You throw in the fact it's basically the middle of the spawn. You had pre-spawn, post-spawn fish moving in and out. The water temperature was right around 70 degrees. There was a shad spawn mixed in. Variables all over the place. You also had very strong winds in practice as well as the first day of the tournament. Flat, calm, sunny conditions on the second day of the tournament. In my opinion, Matt, these are the tournaments that I love because I feel like there's more strategy. And this was one thing that was fun to be with you in the house because you've got a lot of local kind of background here. And I feel like I've got a lot of experience fishing various types of water through these conditions. So like you and I, not that we were working together necessarily, but you and I were discussing like what we thought would happen as practice went on and as the tournament began and throughout the tournament. And the reality is, I think we were spot on, dude. Like, I really think we understood what was going on. Like, we both knew uh, we both kind of knew how we were going to get bit in practice. You know, like we found kind of a spinner bait, rock deal, more of your steeper bank bite. We both had a pitch and bite, you know, when the water was up in the bushes. We, you know, both knew that there were some spawning fish going on. And I honestly think the spawning fish probably is what screwed us in the long run.
Yes. All right, let's start by going through kind of your practice and tournament, and as we talk about it, I'm going to pull up some of your videos that are on Matt Steffen Fishing. So first day we got there, I would say was the day of rising water.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was coming up. So I decided I was going to do more of your typical Grand Lake stuff. I was looking for transition banks, you know, rock transition, some channel swing type stuff, more of your vertical banks, fishing spinner baits, vibrating jigs, some crankbaits, mixed in a little bit of jigs, but the bite was good. I mean, it was not hard at all to get a bite on a spinner bait or a vibrating jig, you know, in relatively muddy water. I had a great day of practice, to be honest with you, Matt. I would have had 20 to 23 pounds probably, like just really easy. You could call your shot almost, and got bit throughout the day.
I mean, it looks like you were doing cranking, trash mats, up shallow, main lake, back of pockets, like behind docks, like literally kind of any way you wanted to. Can you say skin a cat in this day and age?
Yeah, it really was. The one thing I'll add, the first day of practice, there was a very good main lake point bite, and I personally believe that was based on the current that was getting pulled. You could go to any of those main points and see a lot of water movement, and it seemed like those fish were set up really good on some of those points. And that bite also went away into the tournament because we went from pulling a ton of water to really not moving much water at all.
Yeah, it got up almost to 747 on the end of the first day of practice, and when the tournament started, it was 745.2.
And I think when
the 2 days before we were there, it was at 742. So it went from 742 to almost 747 back to 745 in the span of 6 days.
And they were pulling through the first period there. Were they not pulling? Wasn't it up to like 51,000?
Yeah, there was up to 58,000 coming in and 51,000 coming out at one point. So there was.
I mean, it was solid river conditions at that point. Lots of current.
Yep. Let's get to the decision making, because this was something like, so me and you don't really talk areas, any of that stuff, bait specifically, nothing. It's kind of how's the bite, what's going on, what are your kind of just thoughts of it. Like, we don't really share that type of stuff, like the details of what we're doing, but I have a general idea of what you're doing and you have a general idea what I'm doing. Is that a fair assessment of how we quote?
Yeah, I think, I mean, if either of us is looking for more specific details, we'll ask it. Mm-hmm. And I feel like it's very open communication, but you know, we both kind of have our mindset as to what we want to do. And in this case, it was, I personally feel like throughout practice, it was pretty clear you and I both had very similar strategies. Like, I think we both had the spinnerbait bite, we both had bushes, you know, that was, we were on the same game plan.
And full disclosure, before rooming with me, you were on the BPT and happened to room with Drew Gill, Spencer Shuffield, and Matt Becker. So I'm not sure how much I could offer, even if you wanted to, based on the fact that you had, you know, Boy Wonder, Shuffield, and Becker to bounce stuff off of. Matt Pangrak is not a great option after you've had that at your disposal.
Well, I disagree with that, but I honestly, I think when you room, if you've got a good house, there's, in my opinion, it's always like, if you need help, there can be some help there, but generally it's like you just really enjoy being with the people in that house, and you don't, I don't feel like we talk much fishing as it is. There might be like, hey, how was the day today?
Mhm.
But then it turns into like lots of laughters and stories and jokes. And at that point, it's kind of like, I mean, you had us so engaged in watching all of the Hulk Hogan documentaries that, I mean, how could we be even talking about fishing when that's on?
Yeah, well, that whole week was WrestleMania from Vegas, and then the Hulk Hogan 4-part documentary series dropped. So
Yeah.
I would like to point out that I am not like a diehard. We should just move on from this.
Yeah.
So it's not a daily thing. It just so happened that there were two major events. I'm a casual fan, very casual.
The documentary was actually pretty entertaining.
Yeah, and I don't think you were you there for WrestleMania?
No, yeah, I caught
Or the Tribal Chiefs match
No, I didn't
against
see that.
CM Punk.
I think I caught the end of. Was that the main? I caught the end of the main event.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge wrestler. I'm more amused
Roman
by the
Reigns
fact-
for CM Punk there.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah, I'm more amused by watching you watch it.
What does that mean?
Well, because you kind of get into it a little bit.
I don't
Like,
get into it. I understand the human element of it behind it that is then played out in the theater of the ring.
exactly, and that amuses me. I just think it's entertaining that you know all the people, all the stats. You're right
That is
there.
not true. That is 100% not true. I'm a casual fan.
I mean, you didn't want to turn the channel away from WrestleMania.
It was WrestleMania. It's once a year. It's 2 nights.
I mean, I think Josh and I would have been just fine watching pretty much anything else.
I think
but
Josh secretly likes WrestleMania.
I mean,
He's also Canadian. I don't know if that's a big thing up there, so it was probably pretty new to him.
I mean, let's move on. But yeah, but I mean, that's the truth. Like we have more fun in the house. It's not like you've been out fishing all day long. You don't necessarily want to get back to the house and analyze each other's practice days.
Okay. I say that to say this. I talked with you more about what was going on this lake than I ever have in the last 2 years because we both had a bit of a conundrum on our hands.
Yeah.
As in, we had a very solid, I'm going to say very solid, because if it had been lights out, it wouldn't have been an issue. But it was very solid. I had underestimated what I thought my primary bite was. And I believe you might have done the same. And we got sucked into fish that were potentially not as consistent or not as reliable as we thought they were based on the water level. Like you had some bedfish, I had some willow fish, but then we both had a main lake spinnerbait, shad spawn, rock bite going, and we were, at least I had a big internal struggle as to, do I run down and have the opportunity of having 2 for 11 in the first 15 minutes, or do I start on what you don't know what you're going to get bit and then possibly lose out on the opportunity to have 2 easy 5 to 6 pounders in the box? Were you in the same kind of situation?
Yeah, I was same. The last day of practice, I found 2 bedfish, one that I think was 4 pounds, one that I think was probably 4.5 pounds, that were 30 feet apart. So I could put the boat power pole down between the 2 fish and fish for 2 fish. And in practice, when I saw them without a hook on, I made 1 flip to each one. And not only did they both ate the bait, they both swam over and just ate the bait. Like it was not, it would have been 2 really easy fish to catch. And the issue that I had was it wasn't a matter of, going for those fish. I think that's a good bet to go for those fish. But remember, the water was dropping. So when I found the fish, we were about 2 feet over full pool. The water was 2 feet higher than where it was come tournament time. And they were in about 2.5 feet of water. So and if you remember on the last day or on our off day, the water actually kind of stopped falling
Right.
around halfway through the day. So had they kept pulling it down, I wouldn't even have gone to those fish because there wouldn't have been water on those fish. But the fact was, I knew there would be like 9 inches to a foot of water, and there was a chance that those two fish would be there. And the fact that they were right next to each other and both were very nice fish and very easy fish, I thought it would be worth going there. Plus, I got the first time I ever get a good boat number, I was like boat 22 or 24 or something like that. And it was like, man, I know I can get to those fish pretty much first. So I felt like I had to go there. And I went there and they were both gone.
Is this? I mean, these look like easy to get. Is this where they were?
Yeah, it was right there. I actually just flipping around caught one on a Ozark rig with a creature hog, but it was
Did
a
you put
15
that
inch.
stake there?
No,
Is that a secret? Is that a secret bedfish stake that I'm seeing?
You see that stake? So it's got a blue ribbon on it. That was what I used to know where I didn't put it there, but that was my marker that I recorded to mark where the beds were. So there was one bed about 15 feet to the right and one about 15 feet to the left. And so I was just flipping around, kind of just watching the area, and I caught that 15-incher just on the Ozark rig. But that stake that you just saw, the only thing in the water when I found him was the blue ribbon, or what out of the water was the blue ribbon. And now
holy cow,
you can see how much it dropped to get there. So it was just one of those things. It was
so how long did that cost you?
It ended up probably costing, that was probably an hour because I had to drive past or further than where I would have fished. And then there was some no wakes to go through, and it was way in the back of one of the bigger creeks.
Yeah.
And it just, by the time I got done with that, then I made one other stop in a bay with some trashy type floating debris that, again, I knew would be really shallow, but with the wind conditions, I stopped on it because I knew it would be completely throttled in about 2 hours. So I felt like if I was going to fish through that area, I had to do it. So I wasted about an hour fishing through there. I caught one. That was, again, the same sort of thing. I pulled up and caught one real quick. It's the fish right after that one. I caught one right when I pulled up, and I was like, oh man, they're going to still be here in only a foot and a half of water.
Oh, chunker.
Yeah, it was a little fat 15-incher. But when I went back, I fished the whole area and never got another bite. Again, I found that area on the third day of practice, and I could have had 20 pounds out of there real fast too.
And then, yeah, you had some.
That was a flathead. And then I went to throw the spinnerbait on all the different rocks and stuff that I really wanted to fish.
So, at what point did you switch to the spinnerbait?
So it was probably about 10:30. It was right around the time, like I drove by you and I was like, oh, Panger's on the same stuff.
Yeah. So we had no idea where each other were, and it ended up, I could have used that one. Is that a good one?
Yeah, this is a real good one.
Wow. There were a lot of fish that came out of that area, Matt.
Yeah, you caught them right there. Look at this one. This is a good one.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah, I caught several of these on the first day. A solid 4-pound flathead on a spinnerbait.
Dude, that bite is amazing. The flathead bite is unreal on Grand right now.
The spinnerbait bite in general, man, it didn't matter what it was. I catch some big drum on it. Didn't matter what it was, and they just knocked the slack out of it. You should show this fish. So this fish I caught right at the end of the day. And I mean, dude, we were fishing in some of the strongest wind I've ever fished in. Like it was really strong chop, but the wind, I saw a metal roof get blown off of a boathouse into the middle of the cove. Like that's how strong it was. This was a 411 or 412 that salvaged my day one.
Wow. Really short, stocky fish.
Yeah, they're just beautiful, healthy fish.
And then what did you end up having on day one? You're in decent shape.
1311. This was my next cast after that. I was like, man, I'm gonna go 2 for 2 with giants. Look at
Another
this one.
catfish.
Another flathead. Gosh
Oh,
dang,
God. Oh, yeah. That's not fun at
Uh,
all. So day 1, 13-13. You were in top 70,
yeah, I think it was 65th.
65th. Game plan then going into day 2.
It was, well, everything. The only thing that panned out was the spinnerbait bite. I caught a couple on a vibrating jig too, but I was like, I'm not going to wing the spinnerbait all day long.
Oh, is this where you started on day 2?
Yeah.
Wow. We were fishing the exact same things, Matt.
And I lost. Look at this one. I lost. This one was right in that 4.5 to 5
So when I
pound.
talked to you on day 2, you said, I lost one. This is the fish.
This is it. This next cast coming up. I still can't believe I lost it because he hit way at the end of the cast. He came up and jumped. I don't know if you can see the jump here.
Oh.
But it was one of those ones that just like locks you up. And I was like, should I boat swing it or should I not? And I was like, it's so big, I'm just gonna.
Oh no. Oh no.
Right there.
Oh, that's a heartbreaker.
Yeah, I lost one fish each day that I had like that. That was a 4.5 to 5 pound range fish. And I weighed each day I weighed a 115. So I mean you're talking big upgrades.
Okay, learning or teaching moment. Anything you could have done differently there, like looking back on it, watching it, or is that just one of those fish that wasn't meant to be in the boat?
Well, if you want to get into this, I've analyzed this a lot. There's a couple of things here. First, so all week long, this is the only bite I had on a spinnerbait where it did not rip the rod out of my hand. And if you watch here, I actually pull it right there up over a rock, and then he hits it. So I just leaned into him, right? So it wasn't like one where it just crushed it where I actually like hammered him. So I think there was potential there that wasn't great on the hook set. Another was, like I was saying, when he got to the boat, I was like, man, I think this is a real good one. So I was like, in my head, I'm going, I should swing him. But then I was like, no, it might be too big. And I knew I came over that rock, and those rocks were sharp. Like I was retying nonstop. So I was like, no, you know what? I'm not gonna swing him. I'm gonna go lip him. And I started to move in the back at the same time he jumped. So I don't know if it took a little slack off of it. So I probably should have just swung him because I knew he was coming up the jump. I should have just used his momentum and just brought him in the boat. The last thing I'm going to say, Matt, I'd like to get your opinion on this. So I had a trailer hook on that spinnerbait. The more I use the trailer hooks, the more they really frustrate me. And I think a lot of times you don't hook the fish as well because they can sometimes hit that trailer hook, which prevents them from getting the mouth around the bigger hook, the main hook, and or folds over the main hook, which can act almost as a weed guard. And I took that trailer hook off instantly right there. I didn't have a trailer hook on the first day of the tournament, didn't have a trailer hook on during practice, never had an issue, never lost the fish that I intended to catch. And I put one on for day 2 because I knew, you occasionally when you're fishing it, you would get fish that would hammer the bait and knock slack in it and you'd miss them. Right. And I was like, maybe I can catch some of those fish. And I'm not saying I lost that fish because of the trailer hook, but I am really not a trailer hook fan. So I don't know if that was something where I didn't have them hooked as good as I thought I wanted to because of that. So I think there were several things that I potentially could have done differently that maybe cost me that fish, but it is in the spur of the moment. I don't feel like I made any huge mistakes.
Hear me out on this. So the more I believe this is correct. It may not be, but it could be. If it is, makes sense. If it's not, disregard this. The more points you have when you're pulling from one point, the more the pressure is spread out on all of the points.
Yeah.
So if you that's why I'm nervous to use the quad hooks on my swim baits. Like I understand you get more hooks in. I don't know. There's guys who are swim bait gurus who use them, but I'm just saying, I think the way I don't use a trailer hook.
Yeah.
And the reason I don't is because I feel like you end up kind of hooking them more, because instead of getting a really good hook into the fish, that trailer hook hits it further back, and then that trailer hook is always less. It's swinging around. It's different. It doesn't get a good hook in it, and then it sticks the front hook in, but then the trailer hook hooking into the fish prevents the main hook from actually burying into the fish, and then you end up half hooking them on both of them, and then they jump off.
Yeah,
That's
I'm
my
telling
theory
you,
on it.
I agree. That's why I don't ever use them. But this is one where like Doc Talk kind of got me talking to some other people. Like you gotta, they weren't talking like to me like you need to put a trailer hook on, but it was just Doc Talk, not like not in our house necessarily, but like where people, are like, well, it's a spinnerbait bite, so you got to throw it. And I've done videos in the past talking about how I don't like trailer hooks. But I had 3 spinnerbaits rigged up, and I had 1 with a trailer hook and 2 without, and this happened to be the one with the trailer hook. And the fact like you just mentioned, multiple points you got to pull into. Like I said, on this cast, I came up over a rock, and as I was pulling it over the rock, he hit it. So I just continued to pull into it. So it was probably the lightest I set the hook on any fish all week. Now, keep in mind, I mean, the hooks are laser sharp, so it's not like I feel like I need to really hammer them, but I did not hit that fish nearly as hard as some of the other fish.
Now you just go on a litany of casting, catching, counting, and
yeah. So on day 2, so I fished this pattern until about 10:30, until I got bluebird and flat calm. I felt like that bite went away. And then I went and flipped bushes, and I had the opportunity to have a real nice bag flipping bushes. I just lost 3 in the bushes. I couldn't. They just had me wrapped all up.
And you found bushes with water on them? Good Lord.
Yeah. There's a nice drum. Yeah, I caught. So some of the bushes left. Most of the bushes you could see the bottom around it, but occasionally you'd find one that had a little deeper water. And those were the ones you got bit out of. Like, if I knew that lake better and knew exactly which bushes, like that real thick bush was the thickest bush there was on this whole stretch, and it had a little depression under it. I mean, coming up to it, I was like, "There's got to be a fish under this," and I ended up catching. I don't know. I think it was a 2. I was at 2 3/4 out of it, but it's like it was just so clearly the best bush around because it, for whatever reason, it had deeper water around it, and. Yeah, so basically, there you could still get a bite or 2 out of the bushes, but they were real specific. Versus in practice, all those bushes had another, 2 to 3 feet of water on them, and at that point, it was, they could be pushed back in some of the deeper bushes.
Wow. Yeah, Bradley Hallman calls those condos.
Yeah, it was so fun. I mean, I really feel like that was a good decision for me because I mean, when I left. I think I had 4 for 7 pounds maybe. And every bush fish I had was much better quality. This was, I think, that's another
that one.
Flipped it. But I had a 3 3/4. I had a 3-pounder. I dumped a couple 3-pounders. Like, I could have had a decent bag. This is one of the better ones I lost right here. You just missed it. I just lost them in that one right there.
Oh, that's heinous. That's
but there's nothing you can do about it though. It's just like, you're way back in there and it's so shallow. They were hitting it and they'd run left or right real fast and they'd be around, 4 or 5.
That looks like a good one.
It was a good one. It was a good one. So, I mean, like, this is one of those tournaments for me, Matt, where like, I honestly feel like I had a really good practice, a really well thought out plan.
You lost that one and the freaking 5-pounder on the second day?
I lost 3 like that in the bush. Yeah.
How are you so pleasant and affable at the house later?
What are you gonna do, dude? Like, I'm not.
Bitch
why would I
and
be
moan?
mad at you guys? This was one that had me really tied up. This was on 3 3/4, but he had me wrapped and he turned around and came back out the right way.
I'm jealous of you and your productive bushes.
Well, it was. I mean, it's fun. It just, like I said, it didn't work out right. I had plenty of bites to have a top 20 tournament. That I put him in the boat.
what was your weight for the second day?
13-1, I think. 13-2.
So got out of there and survived. I was talking, I had Christine Fisher on earlier today, and I was talking to her about how like 60th place sounds atrocious, which it,
Yeah.
but when you're dealing with a 200 plus boat field on a fishery that you're not familiar with, like you're in the top third. You're in the top third of the field with the 60th place finish, a top 33.33% more. You're in the top 30%.
Yeah, most high dollar professional tournaments we would have been paid with that.
Yeah. This just
But
happens to be a high dollar professional tournament that pays like 1 in 5.5.
Yeah. I mean, the reality is like coming away, obviously we would have wanted to have gotten paid, but we did get good points. We're both sitting in the EQs, and that's the goal. I mean, like, you can't make it to the next level if you don't make the EQs. So you can't have the bombs, and we didn't have the bombs.
Yeah. I'll show you a little bit of how my tournament went. So I was on the same thing. I made the mistake of going to some good willows and bushes when the water came up. And I thought, I stuck one that was almost a 6, had a 5, shook 8 or 9 off in one area on Sunday. Could have had a mid-20s bag, I feel like. And then I became obsessed with checking water level, and what doomed me in this tournament to a 46th place finish was I went back in the dam area at 5 p.m. on our last day of practice on Tuesday. And at that point, the water was at 746. And I just wanted to see if they were still there. And they were all still there.
Yeah.
And I didn't catch any of them, but the same places where on Sunday I had set the hook and was a 6, it went don't and just slowly swam off. And I'd go to the next one, don't. I'd go to the next bush, don't. And I'm like, dude, these suckers might stay. So I stuck my rod down in the water, and I had 4 foot of water right there at the boat. And I had 2.5 foot of water, 2 foot of water, like 2.5 on the edges, like 2 foot, 1.5 at the time. And then it dropped another foot from the time I was there. So I knew that I had a foot of water on the stuff. But I also knew it was Grand Lake, and I knew better. But I had the exact same rock bite you had going on in the same part of the lake on the same thing. And you knew it was a shad spawn because one of the first or second mornings, you'd be like, oh, my spinner bait's messed up. And then it'd have all the shad following, and you're like, my God. And then I caught a 6-pounder on a spinner bait in practice too. And a 6-pounder on a drop shot, which actually screwed me because they were in 3 different parts of the lake on 3 different patterns. But the most consistent one was the wind, rocky banks, main lake stuff, right?
Yeah.
So I'll show you this was me rolling up in the morning to my first spot. And you can see, there. Oh, wait, no, I can't show this because I take a leak first thing. Sorry. But you can see I didn't have mine as nicely edited as yours yet. Okay. So you could see why I could get suckered back into this, because that still looks good, doesn't it?
Yeah. If you cannot see the bottom, I feel like there's enough water.
Definitely.
I mean, like if you can feel your bait fall a little bit at all, there's enough water. Man, that looks juicy.
Yeah.
I mean, it really does look like there's still a lot of water on that stuff.
However, there's not any water on the top of it. That arch right here.
Yeah.
That arch you see on that tree was, you could not see the arch. You couldn't even tell there was an arch there.
That's where the bass is sitting.
That is 100% where that bass was sitting, was directly in that arch.
Man, that it's one of the, like, again, I I just feel like, do you think you would have gone there if the water didn't stop falling on our off day?
Absolutely not.
Yeah, that's the thing that really got me. Like, I had the water kept falling at the rate it fell for the day and a half before that, or 2 days before that, I would never have gone to it. I would have gone and started where I caught that 411 on day one. Which when I got there on day two, there were two boats fishing about 30 feet apart, and I just shook my head like, oh my gosh, that's a spot. I mean, that was part of the killer, dude. Like on day two, I'm pulling up to all those stretches. I'm a late boat flight, and I'm seeing like everyone in the top 10 is fishing the stuff that I had found and wanted to fish.
Yeah, I was pretty much the exact same on that. So I need to show you some more clips here because I did the same stuff on day two. I don't know if you can even see any of this stuff because it's so dang windy. But I'll show you one more fish catch just because I find it comical. I had to put the butt seat in. I mean, you want to talk about the old man pose? I'm going down riprap with the butt seat in.
Dude,
And
I
have
caught
a
a giant
spinner bait
right
on
where you
my
are.
and have a spinner bait on my deck.
I caught a giant in practice right where you are, right by in front of that dead tree. I know
Yeah, well-
exactly where this spot is.
Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah, the thing is, like, I don't actually even feel like the video shows how rough it truly was. Like, I was taking waves over the back of my boat in this, like when I was
yes,
fishing this stuff.
I have some stuff that shows it. This one was a 4.3. That one was a 4.3. I have some videos on day one that actually do it justice. I'm gonna have to pull them up here.
I wish I went back and spent a lot of time looking to see if I had that roof coming off because I heard it and turned at it, but I guess I must not have turned the body. I must have just turned my head and I didn't get it. But that would have been cool video to have a piece of sheet metal flying off of a boathouse.
That's wild.
At one point, I actually looked out over the main lake to see if there was a tornado coming because it was that like it just. Like you put it best because it was like you'd have this 30-mile-an-hour gust and you kind of like waiting for it to die off and it would be like 10-15 seconds and then all of a sudden instead of it dying off it would like notch up to another level.
Yeah. It was basically a stay in the boat type of day.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
That's 15 feet from totaling the boat. Every single wave is coming over.
Just washing machine.
But also notice the angle of my cast, 45-degree angle cast. It's closer than it looks, but I'm like 20, 30 feet off the bank there.
Yeah, like, and if you got off the trolling motor, you would be in danger real fast of banging the boat up on the rocks.
Yes, it was not pleasant. So I ended up going to those bedfish. That didn't pan out. I was way down lake. I had some drop shot fish after that. And I said, well, I'll go clean up on that drop shot fish, get a nice limit. I'd caught a big one. I had a lot of 2.5 to 2 3/4 that I feel like I had either caught or shaken off down there. That was past another idle zone. So I had to idle all the way out, run all the way to the next creek, all the way to the back, all the way past an idle zone. No live scope in this event either.
The idle zones kill you, dude. That lake, they have way more no wakes than the last time I remember. Every cove is a no wake at this point, I feel like.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, they got a lot of idiots out there who run their wake boats. So it took me an hour to realize that the drop shot bite was dead. Then I'm like, I need to get up lake on the rock and start throwing the spinner bait because I had underestimated the shad spawn. And that was my whole game plan, was to do that. And I was like, okay, if I'm up there by 8 a.m., because I had an early boat draw and I took off at 6:30, I can check on those fish and then be back before 8 and be on the program. Yeah. Get it out of my head. So those fish didn't bite. Picked up a couple squeakers along the way. I had 3 for 4 pounds at like 10:30. I'm running back. It's see a row of docks that I always catch them on, pull over, whip a LBJ out of my box, skip it under my first dock, catch a 3-pounder. I'm like, sweet, I can find these. They might be on the LBJ bite because they hadn't been on the jig bite all tournament. And I did that for another hour and a half. Massive wormhole, didn't get any bites. Next thing you know, it's 12:30 and I've got 4 for 7. So I end up running down lake. I run into Austin Cranford. He's got 21. I run into Rick Harris. He's got 21. I end up fishing the rock for the last hour with a spinnerbait, catch 2 4-pounders and a 3, call out a couple of the little ones, end up with 14 even. I had a 1-9 that I weighed in on day 1. That's how bad it was. I had 4 good ones and a 1-9, 14 even. So day 2, I'm like, I know what I'm doing. You know what I mean? Like I'm fishing the rock the same way that I had done it, 100% of the time before. And like it started off pretty good. Like 5 minutes in, catch like 1, almost 3. And it's definitely calm, but there's a little bit of wind on it.
I know that spot.
Yeah.
That's where I caught the catfish. The first catfish you showed. Yeah, that's a nice one.
Yeah, went to a different spinner bait, that type of stuff. So that's actually my third spot. The very first spot, Rick Harris is on. He's in second in the tournament. So what's up, Rick? And I bounce. Yeah. So I go to my next stretch. I come around the corner. Austin Cranford's coming down it. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. That's number 1 and 2 in the tournament. I'm friends with both of them. Didn't know where they had started or anything on day 1. And then I go to my third spot and Casey Scanlon's sitting on it. So I basically said, I'm going to live in a 3-mile area, and I threw a spinnerbait for 7 hours and caught 14.9 and finished 3 ounces out of the money, but I was 100%. I didn't miss any fish at all.
I was not 100%. I honestly feel like I should probably 17 a day, but it is what it is. That was one of the wild things. Like for as many boats as there were fishing that area, it still was producing a lot of fish. Like I do think it died off a little bit as it slicked off, but man, we there'd be 2 boats fishing every point, 1 on each side. Like you'd swap boats, you go behind somebody, you were literally just playing musical boats the whole time, and people were still catching fish. Like
did you mix up your spinner baits and stuff at all?
Well, in terms of what? I had 3 spinner baits that I was swapping between. I had a couple of vibrating jigs I was swapping between. So like
the only time that I changed anything was I thought when it got calm, I thought maybe they'll lead a plug. So I switched to a 2.5 and immediately caught a 2 1/4 pounder on an old RC 2.5. And the funny thing, watch this. It takes me 30 seconds to get this fish unhooked. Look at how he had hooked himself.
Right in the forehead.
Right in the top of the forehead. That is a sweet double chin I'm working with, and the mustache.
It was pretty, really pretty muddy water we were fishing. Like it was not clean water. I would say there were areas that had a couple inches and there were areas that had 6 inches. But it doesn't surprise me to see a fish stuck in the head like that with the water clarity.
I actually here's my big one.
Were you catching rough fish too, like all the
no
catfish and everything?
I didn't catch. I caught 2 flatheads on day 2. So this is critical, and I want you to watch this video, and this is going to make so much more sense for what I'm about to tell you. Watch this cast right here.
Yeah, you're right on the rocks.
Watch this, where this lands. It landed right on the rock. Did you notice that?
Yeah.
Now watch how far I fish it. It's on. Yeah. It was pretty much on instantly. Like look where he boils, how shallow that fish was when he bit it.
Yeah.
There's a
Well,
flat rock right here. You can see it. I had cast behind the flat rock, and a freaking 4-pounder eats it.
Yeah. I mean, that doesn't surprise me because, I mean, there was, most of my bites were coming with it. You know, you put on the rocks, you make 2 cranks, and it was either you were going to get bit or not. I guess the part, based on what you were talking about earlier, that surprises me a little is how short, how close. Like I was fishing much longer casts at more of a 45 versus, like almost flipping the spinnerbait to the bank like some of the top guys were doing.
So I've got a badass video that's coming out later this week. I'll have my video for Grand Lake, and I was booking Wyatt Burkhalter, who won the event with 68 pounds. I called him Saturday night, and he said, "Hey, are there any tournaments on Grand on Sunday that I can jump in? I have the day, and I would like to get back out there." This is 4 hours after he won it. It's 10 o'clock at night now. I'm in Shawnee, Oklahoma. He's up at the lake still. And I said, "Yeah, there's an AIA team series tomorrow." He said, "Do you want to fish it?" So
Yes.
I had the opportunity to go, and there was no live coverage for this event either. Great kid from Alabama, best friends with Justin Hamner. So I had the ability to go jump in the boat of the guy who won by 11 pounds. This is a once in a lifetime opportunity, Matt, because I didn't know he's in a unwrapped Falcon and stuff. I get.
Was it a white one?
It wasn't the white one. It's like a blue gray color.
I think I saw that one too.
Yeah, you 100% did. I was like, "Oh, I saw that boat all day the last 2 days." Well, last day and a half, because I was screwing around with fish that were on dry ground and not eating a drop shot for the first half of the first day. He literally was doing the exact same thing in the exact same areas, and it is a classic case of he outfished everybody because he figured out. And Thursday, I just did a show with Frank Scalish about finding the micro patterns, about dialing in when you're dialed in. With no scope, the muddy water, and the changing conditions. Matt, I'm not kidding. After spending the day on the water with him, our spinner baits were 2 feet behind 20 to 25 pound bags of bass all day long. 2 feet behind him.
Makes you want to vomit a little bit. It's just really cool to think about all the different variables there are and how close you can be, but still so far away. And I mean, and honestly though, Matt, when you think about it, with what I just said about how muddy the water is, it makes perfect sense. Like you really did probably have to hit the fish like on the head to get him to bite.
Like those fish, I would venture to say that based on what I've seen now, and I don't know when he actually caught those are just from the tournament. I would venture to say there's a 50% chance that we had a spinner bait within 5 feet of both of those fish at some point during the day, unless those are ones that he caught very first thing in the morning.
Yeah.
It's the first time I've been in a boat with a guy where there'll be 4 guys on the bank and he'll just go, "Yeah, it doesn't matter. You can put 10 guys on the bank." Like they're not even impacting the fish at all.
That's wild.
And we probably caught 40 keepers, had almost 18 pounds. He was very disappointed, apologized profusely for having me drive up 2.5 hours and only catching 18 pounds.
Yeah. Well, you should. He averaged what, like 23 or something like that? So,
23 a day.
Yeah,
It'll all be out in the video that I'll have it. I'll probably drop it on either Thursday or I'd like to get it done beforehand, but I'll drop mine and then I'll probably drop his, and I don't know. Who should I drop first? The video of the day I spent. I need to probably drop mine and then the video of the day I spent with him.
Yeah. Yeah. But I mean,
it's going to be the same damn video. It's just going to be me in the boat with him when we're out with him.
That's okay. You should put yours out first.
Yeah, I will. But
I mean,
it's
that's
potentially
what's
some of
cool.
my best work. I think it's better than the Randy Blockett video as far as like, I mean, I did a 2-hour interview with him while we talked in a tournament setting, catching fish, culling fish, get his life story, get the tournament story, how he found him, where he's from, how he worked up to it, the
Yeah.
whole thing. Dude, this
I mean-
guy is like one of those handy dudes, man. Like he's 29. Like you get in his truck and there's no way you could fit another human being in it. He's got like deadbolts and like 4-inch screws in his dashboard. Like his passenger seat, like you can't open the passenger side door without like an avalanche falling. Like just, you know, those guys who just have everything there.
I mean, he earned it, dude. Well, like my hat's off to him because there were so many people fishing through there, and to catch what he caught, I mean, it is almost like he was fishing a different lake, even though he was bumping boats with everybody.
Yeah, he was 100%. I'm going to leave that as a teaser. I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to do it. I'm going to be quite frank. If you know what you're looking at, it's probably the most informative video that will ever be put out on the internet. But I'm also, it's my footage and my video. There's some stuff I may leave out.
Yeah, we don't need to see you peeing.
No, you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
That's fair, right? Like I don't owe it to anybody to put like. I can give you an 8 out of 10 on the details, not a 10 out of 10.
That's up to you. I show all my fish catches.
It's also a very unique setting or situation that we were faced with.
Yeah, that's fine.
But yeah, no, he's the type of guy who like, so he throws it on a crankbait rod, basically like a jerkbait crankbait rod, 7 foot. And it's like this blank that he loves, but he's had him for so long that all the eyes have fallen off. And he's so handy that he like has thread and epoxy and stuff. And he just keeps epoxying the eyes back on, but he's epoxied them on so many times that now there's just like mounds of stuff around all the eyes. So like twice during the day, he had an eye just on a cast pop out and he didn't want to retie. So he just took dite cutters and just cut the eye in half and then just fished without the eyes. Like I had such a good time, and he is a very, very talented angler.
I'm looking forward to watching it.
I'm not leaving anything out. Like, I mean, the only thing, I'm not leaving anything out. I'll give it 8 out of 10. He was catching fish that were on the verge of needing feet, like walking feet to move. Like they could have traveled if they had feet, they could have walked. That's how shallow they were.
That's wild.
Like,
yeah,
casting to where you could clearly see the bottom in 6 inches of visibility and manifesting 3.5 to 5 pounders. I did not know that a bass could maneuver in such conditions. I legitimately didn't know that like a bass could do that.
I mean, that's why he won by what, 11 pounds?
Yeah.
He was able to do it.
But overall, good tournament. Very good learning tournament. You have some where I don't feel like you learn a ton, or you have some where you just want to get the hell out of there. This was one of the few tournaments where A, I learned a lot, and B, I wanted to get back out there.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I wish I was still there right now. Generally, it's like get the heck out of town. That was fun. Like, that was fun fishing. Like, and it wasn't necessarily like catch 100 fish, but those fish are just aggressive, mean fish. So when you get a bite, they let you know that you got a bite. And the chances that it was it's a good quality fish, real healthy fish. I really enjoyed myself there this week, even though I didn't have a good finish.
Yeah. You also had a lot going on. You're doing some cool new stuff with Core, aren't you?
Yeah, well, we have a lot of stuff going on with Core.
What's the bento box, or what is that called? Like a mystery box? What is that?
Well, it's not a mystery box. So we have a new program, the Core Tackle Insider program, where so Johnny and I have so many different bait ideas and bait designs that what we've decided to do is create the Insider program, where people can sign up for that. It's a monthly subscription is what it is, but you get all of the baits that we're designing prior to market release, and you help determine whether or not we should even bring them to market. So like this month, so if you sign up before May 1st, you'll get the fin swim bait, which is a swim bait design that I have never seen anything like it. Johnny and I are catching a ton of fish on it. So if you sign up, you're going to get 5 packs of it shipped to your house. It's $30. And each month we have a different design bait, whether it's soft bait, hard bait, terminal tackle, jigs. I mean, we're basically doing all these different types of baits to try to get some feedback. So not only do you get the baits, there's surveys if you want to fill out. We're doing some additional live streams to get direct contact and direct feedback from the users. We're really trying to build baits that are more well-rounded and tested, because the reality
is this the stuff that is around your computer right now that you can't show?
Well, I mean, the fin swim bait, this is a bag of them right here.
Can you show it?
Yeah, well, we've got, do I have one rigged up? I don't know if I have one rigged up. Oh, here's a white one. So this is, you throw it on a jig head and retrieve it. And instead of having a traditional boot tail swim bait, that just goes.
Continue.
Instead of it swimming like this, the whole body rocks side to side and rolls like everyone's trying to do with a jig head minnow. So you get that rolling side to side motion
with a straight retrieve.
So I throw it like I would throw a spinner bait or a swim jig or a chatterbait. Johnny likes to really drag him more on the bottom like you would a wobble head. Just a unique type design, and we've had that design. Like I caught a bunch of fish on that at Smith Mountain Lake in the heavy hitters last year. So I mean, I've had it for a year. We've just decided, we've been going back and forth on when to release it, how to release it. We'd like to get more feedback on it, and in this case, we were like, "Hey, this will be a great product to put in the Core Tackle Insider beta testing program to get some feedback on it." And in this case, basically the people that sign up for it are getting a better value to join this than if you were to wait until they come to market. So if you pull up like
a bunch of those that were like torn up on
the it just swims totally different than a traditional swim bait. It has a real wide. So if you saw the overhead view, the tail kick on it is huge. I mean, it almost looks like I had a buddy who explained it as like a wake bait style retrieve. So if you have a long A, it goes like this in the tail. That's what it looks like from above. I mean, you can feel it thumping on the rod. So ideally, what we're looking for is some anglers to sign up for the Insider program and basically provide us some feedback on these, help pick out the colors to bring to market, help decide if these are the right sizes. Maybe we should do more sizes. Right now, Core Tackle is Johnny and I doing all the field testing. And what we found in the past is when we come out with a product that we've tested, we have our ideas behind it, but we always get all these other great suggestions from users once it's come to market. Well, we'd love to have that feedback prior to going to market. So we're hoping to get a bunch of people to sign up, test it, and enjoy getting all these products that may or may not ever go to the general public.
Oh, so there's a chance that okay, so you're either going to be fishing something that is the next hot thing and have it before everyone else, or there's also a chance that you may get it and then not be able to get it again just based on how the beta testing goes.
Yeah, they'll probably be able to get it again so one of the things we're doing, because we have to order, we've got a small number of testers, but you have to order this stuff in such bulk that we'll have enough for the insiders to purchase more if they'd like to purchase more, but it won't be available to the public. And if the feedback we get is, hey, it's not a good design or it's going to be too tough of a sale, we're not going to come to market with it. So it's possible, yeah, you could have a bait that will never go to the general public.
Next month you're getting a new one, another bait.
Yeah. So next
or
month,
a hook or something.
Yeah, I mean, it really varies. I mean, I can tell you right now, next month is going to be what we call our sled jigs. So the subscribers are going to get a bunch of different jigs, extremely weedless, cool new design for multi-purpose jigs. We've got a new top water that should be out hopefully the following month. We've got probably 15 different finished designs at this point that are, I mean, literally everything from hard baits, soft baits, wire baits, jigs, terminal tackle. It's just a matter of what we want to roll out and when.
I
So
like it.
to answer your question, we've been really busy. In the first April was the first sign up. So like I said, if you sign up by the end of April, you'll get the fin swim bait, which will ship out the first week of May. So I'm getting all of that ready to ship out so that when I get back from St. Jude, I can ship it out hopefully Monday.
Mm-hmm. Are you still giving away free tackle to anybody who requests it?
No, never was doing that.
Oh,
Thanks, Matt. And yeah, it is pretty amazing how often I get requests from like I think I was telling you how I got one that was a request for a wedding party, groomsmen looking for free tackle to go on their groomsmen party. It's really kind of unfortunate because we used to donate to pretty much everyone that asked, and now we're very, very selective with respect to
I feel
who
like you get
tackle.
spammed a lot. Like just
Yeah.
around you, the couple weeks that I have been, it's wild how similar so many of the freaking emails are. It's like, hey, I'm looking to get free tackle. Can you write me an email with a cool backstory? Blah blah. Like it's pretty obvious that it's just
there's a lot of
emails. It blows
There's
my
a-
mind, quite frankly.
Well, and a lot of it, like I've showed you in the past, it'll be it'll be a mass email to like 20 different tackle companies, and they'll not take the other companies off. So it'll be a direct email to like one of the companies, but it's like they clearly didn't change the names, or you'll see that they did like a blind copy and then somebody will respond back, or there'll be like an automated response. So I'll get like a response from the Strike King or somebody that says, at this time we have no more, product to donate. And it's like it's very clear they're reaching out to lots and lots of
Yes,
different
Sam
companies.
X. Hashtag free tackle.
Yeah. Thanks, Matt.
What's that email again?
I don't know what you're talking about. I am really excited. So the other cool thing too at Core Tackle that's been one of the things I've been dealing with is we're actually moving all of this stuff up to my town here, and we're gonna have a facility here. So we're in the middle of that whole transition as well, and setting up an actual what I like to call Core Tackle worldwide headquarters.
That's a big step because right now it's in Tornado Alley.
Yeah, oh yeah, we've had some scares. Although right now there's major storm blowing through here too, so we'll probably move it here and then get hammered by a tornado.
In all seriousness, Core Tackle Insider Program, Fish Outside the Box. Johnny had to come up with that title. The Fish Outside the Box
Yeah,
tagline.
if you're reading the website,
that sounds like him.
Johnny's the one doing the website. He's the mastermind with that.
Fish Outside the Box. I like that. You can sign up by April 30th to access their first soft plastic. Listen, BTL, not sponsored by Core Tackle, nothing. They make great products. I use their products. I don't know anybody who doesn't use their products, and both Johnny and Matt, good friends. So it's not, I mean, it's them. Like it's you and Johnny.
It is the two of us.
I don't think people realize like it's amazing. You like walk in big box retailers, you walk in local tackle stores, you walk in anywhere across the country, and like there's like academies, there's core tackle products in that, and I don't think people realize those are products that you and Johnny have your hands on. Like, I mean, it's not.
Yeah, it's mind-boggling for me when I walk into a tackle shop and I see it there. Like it's a very humbling thing. But we work our butts off. Like we really do. I mean, you see me like tournament week. I mean, I'm off the water and I'm generally on the computer for a while trying to put some fires out with respect to core tackle or make sure product's moving or doing what I need to do with respect to it. But I absolutely love it. It is like a baby of ours at this point, and we've got so many cool ideas. I just want to bring them all to market, but we can't do that quite yet.
Very cool. I know you've got a lot to do. It's 9:30 at night. I want to give a big shout out to Hank and Duke for jumping on BTL.
They've been super excited. So thank you for having them on.
Oh no, I thought they did fantastic. I feel like Duke would be a good guest once he kind of warms up to the camera a little bit. Hank, he's a natural.
Yeah, Hank's the chatterbox. Duke's the quiet one.
Yeah. Did you watch my my Uncle Randy video, my Randy Blockett on the water video?
I did.
What'd you think of that thing?
I thought it was really pretty good, to be honest with you. Like I feel like I've seen a lot of what Randy talked about, but I thought it was a very good on the water. Like I told you, I think you should do a lot more of those. I think you should do on the water BTLs.
Well, that's what I'm doing with the guy who just kicked our butt on Grant.
Oh, that was a tournament you just fished.
But I did it just like Lockie's deal. Yeah, he was hooked up the entire time. I had multiple cameras running. He had the net camera on. I got his whole life story, the whole tournament story, how he was doing it. Like I treated it exactly like a interview. Cool. So there'll be a MP3 audio version of it and then a video of it. Someone said, did Randy introduce Matt and Johnny?
Yeah, Randy did.
Wait. I didn't know that.
Well, yeah, I'm trying to think. I don't the exact scenario. I don't recall, but I do know Randy. They'll probably be mad. I'll probably get this wrong. If I recall correctly, I mean it's been a long time now, but Randy was working with Johnny and Fish the Moment, doing lake breakdowns through Fish the Moment, and I believe Randy gave Johnny my number because Johnny was looking for some help doing lake breakdowns that were more northern based and smallmouth based. So I did some lake breakdowns with him. But that's how I recall us meeting. But it was definitely Randy was the introduction there with respect to putting us in contact with each other.
Interesting.
I think Randy and Johnny have known each other since I think Johnny was really young.
I've known Johnny since he was 9.
Yeah, you 10. You guys were competitors in the Casting Kids contest.
Not in the same decade.
Well,
I was in college when he was 11.
Yeah, I always
there's that picture of us.
I always think we're all the same age, and then I'm like, well, you're younger than me, and Johnny's half my age.
I'm not that much younger than you.
No, you and I are.
We're pretty much the same age. You're just way more established.
41.
I'm 41, but you have 2 human beings that rely on you for their survival. I have a very able-bodied wife, and that's it.
Yeah, well, you
have way more responsibility.
You took care of that this year. There'll probably be little munchkins running around here sometime soon.
Easy. Maybe. I knew we should have kept this to an hour and a half.
Hey, you're the one. No, I won't go there.
Now I'm gonna have to hide the damn replay.
Does Courtney Does she watch all the shows?
She watches some of them. It just depends. If we're getting really no, she'll watch it because she likes you and Sarah.
Oh well, thank you.
It just depends. If I'm getting really nerdy, she has no desire. I don't blame her. She has no desire.
So I love the fact that she was there on Saturday night?
Yeah, Friday night.
Yeah, Friday night. And she was very excited to hear that Christine Fisher was going to be on.
Yes, she actually was. I told this to Christine. I was like, I'm not going to just have someone on BTL because they're who they are. Right? I would like accomplish something, do something, have some sort of contribution, do it. And she freaking is in 57th place in the EQs. She's got a chance to make it. She was 11th place in the opens. Like, she's a very accomplished kayak angler, but like, I don't have kayak guys on. I don't have anything against them. It's just, I don't know anything. Like, I don't know what to ask. Like, what do I say? Like, so how'd that Torpedo do for you out there, bud?
Well, she's been around the industry for so long that I didn't get a chance to watch it, but
it was one of those things. Yeah,
she's got a lot.
Great interview.
Yeah,
it was a really good interview. I would say, I mean, she has a lot of respect in the industry that she doesn't even know about, I think.
Yeah, she's very well liked.
Yeah,
I'm actually really excited because she just bought a place not too far north of me, up on the Wisconsin River as well. So I'm sure
she's gonna be drowning night crawlers for sturgeon.
Yeah, you never know. Dude, everyone loves to catch sturgeon. Like, you can't go wrong with that.
I gotta come back up because I need to get some more stuff from Duke Mart, and I need to get a sturgeon on my bucket list.
You know, Duke Mart is Duke Mart is actually opening up their Duke's first official store within Core Tackle Worldwide headquarters. He's very excited. He actually was packing up his store before the episode tonight to move it to the new location, which makes Mama Bear really excited as well.
Oh, because Duke Mart took up one half of the office / playroom.
Yeah.
Is Duke Mart going to be available online? It is 2026, Matt.
No, Duke Mart is still in person only. Yeah,
that's disappointing to hear.
But Duke Mart is growing rapidly now that we've got a 3D printer, as you have since found out with your little, what was it, a Panda? What do you got?
Wait, this was a 3D printed?
Yeah, that's a little 3D printed Panda.
Wait, so you didn't buy this Panda and then Duke resold it?
I think is that the three? I can't see that.
Oh my gosh, you're right. Look,
if that's the 3D printed one,
like
I think that's
comes off and then you like pop the head on like that.
Yeah, he prints them all in little parts and then puts them together.
Shut the front door.
He's got, dude. Yeah, he's printing a lot right now.
What all is he printing?
I mean, a little bit of everything from actual tools that we use around the house to any sort of little creatures, and he prints all kinds of stuff. Takes them to his, gives them out for, like for Valentine's Day. He had cards, and then he taped little tiny otters that he 3D printed to them.
Just gave them to the select ladies in the class.
Yeah, he gave them to everyone in the class. He's got a small class. There were only like 14 kids in the class.
Last thing before I let you go. We're still doing Master Angler stuff. We actually
heck yeah. I don't know where are we going next for it.
I don't know. We actually have a project that Matt and I have been working on, and life keeps getting in the way, and then we'll work on it some more and life keeps getting in the way. But it is the blueprint is there, the plans are drawn, it is legitimately just a matter of executing it. It's related to some of the stuff that we've done based on some of the feedback we have, but it's also more of a passion project and one of those deals where we're like, let's do this, not tell anybody about it, drop it, and just see what the reaction is.
Yeah,
but let's have a lot of it done so that we're not, so it doesn't turn into a puppy where you have to take care of it every day.
Yeah, we there is no doubt, Matt, we will get this going. But it doesn't surprise me either that, like, with tournaments in full swing right now, like the first half of the year is always such a pain in the butt. All right.
Yeah, continue. The first half, yes. Right now is
really busy, but
very busy time.
Yeah, but I'm very excited to do it, and I think we will make it happen. And I don't know how deep you want to go into this right now, but I think it'll be something that everyone enjoys.
Whether you bass fish or perch fish or musky fish.
I mean, my hope is you don't even have to fish to enjoy it.
Yes. We've called it Prestige Worldwide.
Yeah.
And our wrap will be dropping.
No. Shake and bake, buddy. Shake and bake. That's a different movie, but
no. We also still have to get that house for Kentucky.
Well, did you talk to Blake?
I did, but we don't know who got the house originally.
Okay, I'll talk to Miles because I'm rooming with him this week, so I'll find out. I'll send myself
because we need to get that because that was an awesome house. Yeah. And if that one happens to be taken, I think a ping pong table might be a necessity at some point this year.
Or golden tee.
No more golden tee. That was the biggest hose job I think I've ever seen in my life. You want to talk about sandbagging? How does this rollerball work? And then come to find out you're in a golden tee league for 15 years back in Chicago, the Golden Tee Elites. You had a freaking shirt, a jersey every Tuesday night. You'd go down to the pub and play golden tee for 30 hours.
Now you're fibbing a little bit.
A little bit, not much.
I have played some golden tee in my life, yes.
Yeah. And then he sandbagged it, letting everyone win. And then once we put a couple Andrew Jacksons on it, all of a sudden Matt's the freaking Tiger Woods of golden tee.
Well, it was not only that. You guys set it up where you're like, well, Miles, who clearly was not the golden tee player, he was my partner, and you thought it would be easy money taking us on. But Miles pulled through, made a few shots, and we ended up taking your money.
Yeah, I didn't think it was possible to be unathletic in a video game, and Miles proved us wrong.
Let's put it this way. There were multiple times where Miles almost broke his hand because he did not even hit the ball. He hit he hit the side of the machine. Yeah. Good times. We'll have to see if we can find. I mean, if that house is taken, I feel like there's a lot of houses around that area.
Yeah, that was a badass house, though.
It was. Yeah, lots of parking.
All right, I'm exhausted. I got
it's time
6 hours alive today.
Catching up on sleep from Grand Lake.
This is some hopping background music.
I love it.
All right, this has been another edition of BTL. Bass Talk Live. We'll talk to everybody tomorrow. Donate to St. Jude. Both of the links in the description on YouTube. Here's what I want you to do. If you're going to donate $100, donate 50 to the team of BTL and Bart, and donate 50 to Matt and Hank. It goes to the same place. It does the same thing. If you're going to donate 20, split it up. If you're going to donate 5,000, just give all 5,000 to BTL. You don't want to have that hassle of splitting that up.
Just donate. That's all I care about.
All right. Thanks, Matt. I appreciate it.
See you, Matt.
All right. See ya.